Hi all. Just wanted to do a short little video about a couple of targets from the lower leagues. Really think this is a good source of talent that we've used to our advantage in recent years. You know, going back, Antonio, Cresswell, done really well for us, very established. Jared Bowen, and I know that Moyes likes looking in the lower leagues. He's done it at Everton, he's done it at West Ham, and there's a few players that spring to mind that I really think that we should be looking at. Mainly attacking players that I'm going to focus on this video, but no doubt there's a few in defence and midfield that I might do a short video in the days to come. Now, the one that everyone has been talking about is Keane Lewis-Potter, who I think he's scored about 14 goals, got a few assists as well. Absolutely, definitely, he looks a real exciting talent. He looks a carbon copy of Bowen. You know, if in terms of describing how he plays, he's pretty much Bowen Mark II, but he's right-footed and he plays on the left, as opposed to Bowen, who's left-footed and plays on the right. Cutting in, getting shots away. He looks quick, he's direct, and I think you'd probably be paying in the region of 15 to 20 million for him in today's prices, which, you know, could be value for money. You know, it's not without its risk. He might not make the step up, but, you know, I know Moyes has watched him quite a few times. I really like the look of the lad. You know, I think our strategy should be, I mean, I want us to keep our best players and really push on, but a little bit like Leicester have done over the last sort of 5 years, in my opinion, is they buy replacements for people a year or two before they might lose them. Now, you know, Bowen, you know, I want Bowen to stay with us, but at some point, if Liverpool do come knocking, as has been rumoured for a year or two, with 60 mil, he might go. You know, you never know. You can never tell. Hopefully that doesn't happen. But what I think is, if we got a Keane Lewis-Potter type player in, bedded him in, all of a sudden, if we did lose Bowen in a year's time, you haven't got to scramble to get a replacement because you've had a replacement within the squad for a year. So I really think that would be a good purchase, and definitely one I'd support and hope that we do go for him, as has been linked. But the one that's really prompted me to do this video is, obviously, with Connor Coventry being at MK Dons, keeping quite a close eye on their progress, which under one of our former youth team coaches, Liam Manning, has been amazing. I mean, I think he took over maybe halfway through the season, and I don't think they were anywhere really. I mean, they've been on an amazing run, especially, you know, since they got Coventry. I'd like to think he's contributed a fair bit towards that. And, you know, today was the last day of the League One season, and they've just missed out by 1 point. It seems they won 5-0 away. Pretty great result. But Rotherham beat Gillingham, who I think were unlucky. And that means Rotherham go up and MK Dons are in the playoffs, which I think that would be good. You know, that would be good for Connor Coventry. Couple of big games, and hopefully he gets a day out at Wembley. And that, I think that all just adds to his experience and ability, because, in my opinion, I do think he has got it what it takes. He just needs the opportunity, and I think he will grasp it with us if he gets that. You know, with Noble retiring, Crow hasn't done enough to warrant signing permanently. We do need to invest in the middle of the park, and I think Coventry fills one of them squad places. And, you know, I do think we need to buy another top quality central midfielder to lighten the load on Rice and Souček. And like I've just said about buying the replacements before they leave. If the day comes and Rice has gone, it'd be good to have had someone in it for a year prior to him leaving, if he does, which I hope he doesn't. But I digress slightly. The player in my mind, is for MK Dons is a lad called Scott Twine. Now, I don't claim to know bundles about this player, but he's sprung into my reckoning the last few weeks. He actually won League One Player of the Year. So, he's been voted the best player in League One this year. He scored a hat-trick today, last game of the season, which brings his goals tally up to 20 goals. And he's also got, I believe, 13 assists. So this is a lad, he's 22. He's got over 30 goals and assists. I'm not sure he's an out-and-out striker. I believe he can play anywhere across the front line. And I really think we should be all over this lad. I think we have been linked with him. I had a little look on Twitter and Google, and Scott Twine, West Ham come up, and it says we've been looking at him. And I think if we've been looking at him recently, I believe this is the sort of signing we should be making. Now, I liken this signing to a James Maddison type signing or an Ivan Toney a few years back. So, people might think, oh, we're fighting, we're pushing for Europe. Why are we looking in League One? It's a much inferior level, and it is. Yeah, but you look at, let's just say James Maddison initially. He was at Coventry in League One. He was doing similar thing to what Scott Twine has done. Early 20s, creating goals, scoring goals. Norwich took him, and then I think he come up in the Prem, or he was ripping it up in the Championship. Leicester bought him. Now, if you wanted James Maddison, you're probably paying 50 mil. And you could have bought him from Coventry for 5 mil. Yeah, bit like Ivan Toney. I'm pretty sure he was the top scorer in League One a couple of seasons ago, and Brentford paid a big chunk at the time for a League One player. I think it was 10 mil. But look at him now. If you tried to buy him now, it's double that, if not triple that. So there is some real value in looking in League One. This Scott Twine, you'd probably get him 5 mil, upwards of 5 mil. Now, granted, League One is a very much inferior level, could be a big jump. Now, what I think could be an option is, and other clubs have done this sort of deal, we never have in my memory, but buy him, get him in for pre-season, see if you think he's right up for it in terms of Premier League now. Because, it's an area that we've got a lot of competition. We've got Bowen, Fornals, Benrahma, of course, Vlasic, who's like the forgotten man, is not getting a look in whatsoever. Who knows, Lingard might be coming in. It's an attacking midfield striker sort of area that this lad plays in. Now, I was having a look at his attributes. He's got a wicked shot. I mean, this lad scores a lot of spectacular goals from outside of the area. He hits the ball a little bit Ronaldo-esque, just on the laces, bang. Now, it doesn't matter if you're in League One or the Premier League. If you can ping the ball in off the crossbar from 30 yards out, you've got some talent. You can do it in League One, you can do it in the Prem. However, you could structure a deal that, let's buy him and then loan him out in the Championship next season. Yeah, say that it's, or even up to Christmas. Loan him out to, I don't know, a Norwich, someone that might have just gone down, a Watford. So he's playing in a team that's going to be near the top, most likely, of the Championship, and then see if he can really develop at that level first before coming into the Prem. This could be a long-term signing. But yeah, that's the initial guy that I think we should be looking at. Scott Twine, 20 goals, 13 assists in League One Player of the Season. I'd like to think that obviously he knows Connor Coventry. Maybe there's a good little, Connor can have a word in his ear, because I think this Scott Twine's going to have a lot of interest from Championship, definitely, potentially Premier League clubs. He looks like he's got a lot of ability. And like I say, there's players recently in Maddison and Toney, the two that spring to mind, that not so long ago they were plying their trade in League One, and now they're established Premier League players who are worth a lot of money. So I think if that's the sort of deals that we should be looking at, you know, in terms of buying players, low initial price, develop them, and then, you know, you've got a valuable asset on your hands for years to come. So Scott Twine, remember the name. Keane Lewis-Potter, like the look of him as well. I think we should be looking at both of them. You know, there's other players out there in the champ, in midfield and defence that I'll come on to in the next couple of days. But I just think they're the two from the lower leagues I'd be looking at to bolster our attacking positions, and we should be all over them. So thanks for listening. Come on, you Irons.